So the time has arrived. It is now the day before my trip to Disneyland Paris. So I'm going to be doing a pack with me and how to pack with just cabin baggage. So I'm actually going for 5 days, 4 nights, but I'm actually also doing a night in an airport hotel. So 5 nights, 6 days in total. And I'm just taking cabin baggage. So a small suitcase and a backpack. So see how I managed to fit everything in and leave space for the all-important merch, which I'm inevitably going to buy. Cats, how do you feel about me going to see a big mouse? Would you like to meet Mickey Mouse? So this is all I'm going to be taking, just one small suitcase and one kind of large backpack. But I'm kind of impressed because I've managed to fit all of my clothing, everything I will need in just one side of my suitcase. The other side is things like toiletries, makeup, breakfast foods, and this is all charger cables. So actually a lot of this stuff will end up being used and left behind, like the food and the toiletries. So I will have actually a lot of space in my suitcase for the all-important merch. So my trip is going to be in March 2022. So the weather is not going to be super warm, but it's not going to be super cold, and there is a chance of rain. So I've had to pack for a lot of different scenarios. So I'm going to take you through what I've packed for rainy days, for warmer days, and just in general what I'm going to take to Disney. So in one half of my suitcase, I've got all of my clothing for the entire trip. And the way I've managed to do this is by using packing cubes. And honestly, it's completely changed the way that I pack. I've managed to fit so much more in just by using these cubes, and I also love that when I open my suitcase everything's really neat and in its place and not falling all out. So packing cubes are the way forward. So I've got a large packing cube and a small packing cube. This is the small one. I've actually extended it, opened the zip so it says full size, and in this one I've got all stuff like underwear, I've got vests to put as layers, I've got a hat in case it rains, I've got chub rub tights because I'm going to be wearing a skirt. So I've got all of my like underwear and kind of smaller items in this little pouch. And in the bigger pouch I have managed to fit 5 days worth of clothes, which I am so impressed with. It's absolutely insane. So I'll open it up and show you what's inside. So inside this packing cube I have 5 days worth of clothes. So I have things like t-shirts that I've folded up, more t-shirts, I've got 2 more t-shirts, so that's 5 t-shirts in total. I've got a skirt, and then at the very back I've also got a jumper. Now I've brought this because it is predicted to rain, and when I was at Disneyland Paris last time there was a very unexpected cold snap, so I've bought an extra little jumper just in case. Last time when I was at Disneyland Paris, a lot of the things that I bought ended up being clothing. So I didn't want to take too many clothes because I'm probably going to buy stuff when I'm there. I'd already seen some things on my last trip that I didn't buy that I want to get this time. And there's a 30th anniversary merch. So I've seen things like Spirit jerseys and t-shirts that I already want to get. So I've left space so that if I do buy those items, they can fit in the case. But it's also good that if the weather changes, I'll have extra layers. What I've done is I've rolled up my clothing so that it is a lot smaller and a lot more compact, and that's so handy. It's made me fit so much more in here. And then to pad it out, I've put some nicely folded t-shirts so they could just fit in on the top, and then that's all my clothing. So as you can see, it's just a quarter of my suitcase for 5 days worth of clothes, and it's actually a bit baggy, a bit of room left, so I can fit more things in there on the way home, which is fantastic. So I've zipped up the clothing side, so that is everything, all clothing, just in one part of the suitcase. And now I'm going to talk to you about all of the other extra bits that I've got in my suitcase. So in the second half of my suitcase, it is more like toiletries, electricals, and the food that I'm going to be taking for breakfast. So I've got, in this pouch, I've got everything that is a toiletry or makeup that is not liquid. So I can put this in my case and I won't have to open my case at the airport. So I'll just put that all in one little small pouch. And yeah, it's just super handy because it's a nightmare when you have to keep opening and shutting your case at the airport. So anything that's not liquid, I've put in here. I've also got a pouch to put all my electricals in. So in here, I have things such as an adapter plug. This one's actually really cool because it's the European style adapter, but then on the back or on the bottom, it has the USB, which is so handy. When I went to Hotel Cheyenne, they did have a lot of USB sockets, which was perfect, but I've bought this just in case because I don't know if the Hotel Santa Fe has had an upgrade and added them. And then I've bought just like your generic plugs, your UK plugs with your USB sockets in, which I can plug into this socket. And then just all of my cables for like my phone, my camera, all of those things. But I like having it in here because nothing's getting lost, nothing's getting tangled, it's all in one place, I know exactly where everything is, so much handier. And then I've got another packing cube, and this one I've just stuffed full of everything else so that it doesn't fall out of the case. So in here I have things like makeup wipes, I've got some cotton pads for like toner and things like that. I have some tissues, and then I've got breakfast foods. So I've got these little pouches of nuts, and then these kind of like flapjack type things, and they're super handy because they're small to fit in the case. They'll give you a nice like filling breakfast, and they're super cheap. And that's my entire suitcase packed. As you can see, there is actually still room already in the case, which is really good news because I've seen so many things I want to buy. The 30th anniversary merch is so exciting. So I'm really impressed with how much space I've already got. And when I come back, I'll have even less things because some of my toiletries will be used up and all of the food will be gone. So it's absolutely fantastic news. So I think for 5 days worth of clothing, toiletries, items, everything, I think it's really impressive. And I really do think it is these packing cubes, honestly. When I did my last trip, I packed my case and it was like so full. Then I got these packing cubes and I was like, oh my gosh, why have I not used these before? I feel like I'm really pushing these things, but they are so handy. And I never realised how much I would love also the fact that everything has its place and nothing's falling out. And I really enjoy that as well. So when you open your case, just everything's so neat and tidy. So I really love packing cubes, guys. It's my new thing. It shows you how old I am because that's something that's exciting to me. So next I'm going to dive into what I've put in my backpack, and I had loads of cool backpacks I wanted to take, so many Disney backpacks, but I went for a bigger backpack just so that if I needed extra space to bring things home, I had it. And also this backpack has a really cool feature. So I have this really cute Cath Kidston backpack. It's quite a big size, it's got all Disney characters on it, it's waterproof, it's got quite a big front pouch, a large main pouch, but the thing I love most is at the back, it has a zipped compartment. I think this is meant to be for things like Kindles or laptops, small ones, or tablets. But what I found it so handy for is putting in your Disney ears. When I was going on rides, instead of thinking where I'm going to put them or they're going to get squashed or crushed, I slipped them in there. It was literally perfect. So this is one of the main reasons I brought this bag this time. So for the trip over to France, I've actually put way more in the backpack than I would when visiting the parks, because it's got stuff like my liquid toiletries or anything I might need on the plane, which I wouldn't necessarily take into the parks with me. So let's dive into what's in the backpack. So this is the front pouch. I have medications like painkillers, etc. This is all my camera equipment like batteries and memory cards. These are some airplanes to help me on the flight. I have some tissues, I have some travel sickness medication, which I'll use for the rides. And yeah, I've got a little notebook as well, where I keep all of my notes about what I'm doing, what I have booked, park opening times. I've got in here loads of notes about what times things are happening, what rides are open, where the character meets are, what reservations I have booked. So I have everything written down just in case my phone runs out of battery or whatever. So I know exactly what I want to do, and I've got everything handy in my little notepad. And then all important plasters, just in case. For me, something that's important to pack are travel sickness tablets. So I actually started to get motion sick a couple of years ago. I suffer from migraines, but they got to a point where they were chronic migraines. I was getting quite a lot. And something that's very interesting is a lot of people that suffer from migraines end up getting motion sick. So I always had like an iron stomach, could go on anything, no problem. But now, unfortunately, those days are over. So I brought these, I actually get these in Walmart when I visit the US. You get like 100 and it's about $5 or $6. It's so cheap. The only downside is they do make you a bit drowsy, so I think I am going to look for some non-drowsy versions, but these are so handy. I just take them in the morning so that I can go on all of the rides. I've been absolutely fine. The only ride last time that made me feel a bit ill was Tower of Terror, which is such a shame because it's one of my favourite rides, but these do seem to help massively, so these are an absolute must. The main compartment of my bag is also jam-packed at the moment, but again, it's mostly for the flight. So I have things like an umbrella. It is predicted it might rain, so I've got a little umbrella just in case. The coat that I have doesn't have a hood, and I could swap to a coat that has a hood, but I've already planned my looks, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take an umbrella and hope for the best. I've also got in this little pouch, this is everything to do with my camera. So I've got like a dead cat, which is the big fluffy thing you stick on the microphone. I've got like a little pouch to put my camera in, tripods, everything in one little bag. I also have some sunglasses because it's also meant to be sunny because weather. And then I also have all of my liquid toiletries for the plane. I've put them all in one little bag so it's easy to get out of the airport. No hassle, just put it down, they can scan it, put it back in the bag, perfect. So there's not actually that many items in the main pouch of my backpack, but they are kind of bulky ones. But once I get to the hotel, a lot of it can be offloaded and there'll be lots of space inside for anything I need, like drinks for the park or things I buy. And the final section of my backpack is the little slot at the back where I can keep my Mickey ears. So it was absolutely perfect when I went last time because for the rides, I could slot them in there. It's nice and flat, it keeps them safe, they're not getting squashed. Could not be a more perfect place to keep them. So in here at the moment, I have all of my face coverings for the entire trip. I've kept them in here kind of for hygiene reasons so that they're all nice and safe and not getting dirty. And I've got enough for the plane because you need the actual blue surgical mask for the plane. They won't let you wear cloth ones. And I've got my nice Disney cloth ones. When I went to the airport last time, if you did not have the blue surgical masks, they were telling you at the gate you have to buy them, and they have vending machines in your gate so that you can buy them if you don't have them, because they are a requirement to travel on the plane, and to enter France you have to have the blue surgical masks. I have some really cute little, these are actually Valentine's ears. So for this trip, I'm only going to take one pair of Mickey ears, and I've got these really cute little Valentine's ears. Love how shiny they are, love how sparkly, love the colours. The reason I'm only taking one pair of ears this time is because I've seen 2 pairs of 30th anniversary ears that I want to get. So I'll have lots of options once I get to the parks. So to save on packing on the way over there, just taking one pair of ears, slotting them into my cute little backpack with the little pouch, perfect. I have in here all of my travel documents and my passport, so everything's all in one place. So this is actually something I got from Attraction Tickets when I bought my Orlando tickets from them, and I love that they give you this as a like freebie because it comes in so handy. So in here I keep my passport, and then I also keep all of my travel documents, and what I do is I fold them in half so that they're really easy to see between all of them, so you can just pull them out and you're not having to rifle through all of them to see which one you need. I'm so impressed with how little I'm actually taking, considering I'm away in total 6 days. So I'm very, very impressed. So that is now it. I am packed and ready to go to the airport hotel tomorrow night. I am so excited. This trip is going to be so much fun. I'm going, it's a solo trip, but actually my cousin and her husband are going to be there 3 out of the 5 days I am there, which I cannot wait to hang out with them. So I'm very, very excited. Ooh. The cats must do an inspection to check that everything is in order. Jaffa, is everything satisfactory? Coco, what do you think? Is everything packed okay? Always got to be micromanaged by the cats. I'm just super, super excited, and I'm just really happy that I've got loads of space in my case and my backpack for all the things I'm going to buy, because as we all know, I love to shop, so that is going to be a big part of the trip. Starting from tomorrow, it is my travel day, or my pre-travel day. I cannot wait. The new vlog series for this Disneyland Paris trip will be starting super, super soon, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you can find out and see all of my Disneyland Paris vlogs when they go up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found some handy packing tips for yourself if you are going to be travelling with just hand luggage for kind of like a 5-day trip like I am. And until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye bye. Cats, what do you think? Don't hit Cobra in the face with your tail. What do you think about me going to see a big mouse? Do you have thoughts and feelings about this? Big old Mickey Mouse. Would you like to meet a big mouse? the outrage that she's touching your tail, even though you've hit her in the face with it about 14 times.